In this table here, I have one example of the free cash flow analysis that was done previously, and we obtained that our net present value is positive, which means that the project is good to invest in. However, in this example, we worked with few assumptions in order to calculate the future sales and costs. And in finance, we would always like to know how the change in one variable will impact the other. And that is why we have the sensitivity analysis. Sensitivity analysis is the study of how the uncertainty in the output of a model can be apportioned to different sources of uncertainty in the model input. In order to find it out, we will use data table in Excel. In our example, I would like to know how my NPV would change if my sales in units were different. Let's make a small table. I will first need my base number, and this would be 2,685,000 in sales. And I would copy this number in my table. And I would like to see what happens if my sales were 10 and 20% lower than the baseline and 10 and 20% greater than the baseline. And the last thing that I need to link my NPV to our new table. Excellent. What we're going to do now is select the entire table, click on Data, What If Analysis, and then click on Data Table. In this case, we only need the column input number because this is how we created our table. And for the column input cell, this would be our original sales in unit cell, which is D14, and you would click OK. We got our result, and you can see how our NPV would change if sales in units were lower or greater. A 10% decrease in sales in units would have a great impact on our NPV. You can also do this table with two variables. Let's say we have the price per unit and the fixed costs. Let's start with the baseline numbers. For the fixed cost, our baseline number is 1.5 million, and the price per unit is $2. And now you can add the percentage changes. And don't forget to link the NPV to our new table. Excellent. Now again, select the entire table, click on Data, What If Analysis, a Data Table. For the row of input cell, in this case we have the fixed costs from our original table. And for the column input cell, we have the price per unit. Click OK, and you can see how our NPV would change if the fixed cost and the price per unit were changed by a certain percentage. We can do another very useful table setup in order to change between possible scenarios. Scenario analysis is a process of examining and evaluating possible events or scenarios that could take place in the future and predicting the various feasible results or possible outcomes. We always have a base scenario And then we set our worst case and best case scenario. Let's look at our table. We have different variables that we want to look at. I have sales in units, price, fixed costs, initial capital expenditure, and the weighted average cost of capital. For the sales in units and the price, our best case is 20% higher, and our worst case is that these two are 20% lower. For the fixed costs, CAPEX and VAC, it is the opposite. It's better for us for our costs to be lower, and it's worse if these costs are higher. So let's fill out our table. We always need a column for a scenario code. The base case is 1, best case is 2, and the worst case is 3. You can copy these numbers for the rest of the variables. Perfect. And let's fill out the base numbers. Copy the numbers from the original table. Let's do this for the sales in unit. Then do it for the price. For the fixed costs. Initial capital expenditure. And don't forget to make this as a positive number and copy the weighted average cost of capital. Excellent. We can calculate the changes now. What we have to do now is use our index formula to reference our results. So type in equals index, select our possible options, and then for the row number, we will link this to the scenario code cell. Copy this formula for the rest of the years. And do this for the remaining variables. Perfect. And the last thing that is left for us to connect are the scenario code numbers. We want each variable to be connected to the ultimate scenario choice. Just connect each cell to the scenario code. Perfect. And now you can easily pick your scenario possibility, and when you choose one, you can see how your table changes and it iterates between the numbers and options. This scenario analysis table is very useful when you have multiple tables, multiple worksheets in one Excel file, and you want to have a summary page of some kind where you can change between the possible scenarios and analyze your data. Thank you for watching.